Are you tired of coming up against formations like this, or the sort of meta 2 centre forwards, 2 support strikers? Then if you are, then stay tuned for this video, because I think I've come across a formation for the possession based style that cracks the code. This is important that it is a possession based style, because obviously the players are going to behave differently to if you're perhaps on quick counter, long ball counter, maybe even out wide. So you do have to take that into consideration. But if I come up against, or I see a formation like this, then I do change my tactics accordingly, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do and why it's so effective. At the minute, I have never been beaten when using this formation. When I've changed to this formation, sometimes I'll change this formation halfway through a match, and it just seems to work for me. So as you can see, it is a 4-4-1-1 with 2 defensive midfielders, 2 central midfielders, and an ACM, and they're clustered like this in this very tight, compact sort of formation, as you can see. And I set my defensive to both fullbacks to ensure they stay back when on the attack. That's very important, when, especially when facing a 4-2-4, because what they're looking to do is try to get the ball into the wide area, pass it across, and then usually they'll have a man free on the opposite side, because your fullbacks may even get caught out upfield if you've got possession of the ball. Or, you know, if you are playing a possession-based style, your fullbacks or out wide, your fullbacks will bomb forward, and you are going to get exposed with those wide players. So very important you put those on defensive. Then what I'm going to do is set up some man marking. I put my defensive midfielders on any attacking midfielders, and then any sort of central midfielders I match up with a central midfielder, even if they haven't got the man marking role, as long as it just applies a little bit more pressure on them. And we're going to see that in this match. Okay, so we're just about to get the match underway, and I'm going to pause the game in various places and point out some of the strengths of this formation and tactics. So here we see, as I win the ball, you can see that sort of those 5 are very, very narrow, and that's exactly what you want when you're defending. And this works so well against any formation, and I think this is one of the reasons why, along with those defensive fullbacks or fullbacks set to defensive, that really does help. But going forward, then there's just so much good going on here. The central midfielders tend to run in, or make runs in between the centre back and fullback positions, as you're sort of seeing with those lines there. The attacking midfielder is able to play it out either side, and that classic number 10 or deep line forward will drop off the front line, and that player is going to be so significant in bringing other players into play, and you're going to see that a lot. Now, there's some things I really want to point out with this formation when you are defending. So I play a long ball here, he wins the header, and what I should have done is brought this player out there, because that's my fullback. I need to get him back goal side and in position, and basically try and force Messi to go inside. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I will show you how to properly defend in the next segment, but for this segment, what I wanted Messi to do was cut inside. That enables that 5 in midfield to close that space, win the ball, and we're going to see a very similar attack pattern again, but this time I'm able to skip through. And unluckily with this ball, it did drift a little bit wide, so it was a bit unfortunate there. However, good pressing here, and then look at this. I'm able to overload, and there he is again. Like I said, those central midfielders break between the fullback and the centre back positions, which I've highlighted here, and he's just going to bomb through using his pace and fires into the corner net, giving me a nice 1-0 lead. Now you're probably going to notice every time I win the ball back, the way I break out is exactly the same. So I clear the ball here, it then falls to Camavinga, there's Pedri there, there's Foden there, there's my classic number 10, playing a few 1-2s, and this is why this formation is so good, because whilst it's very strong defensively, it's actually quick countering these players that are going to do quick counter on you. A little 1-2, a shot on target, and I knew that man would be able to be picking up that rebound. So I honestly thought he quit at this point, but he does actually keep playing on, thankfully. Plays the long ball up front, headed down, but again, too many in that midfield area, too congested, too compact for him to play through. So it makes it really difficult for him to play through. And one thing I want to point out is, when you are defending, this is how I was talking about how you defend correctly. Make sure you bring your central midfielders back to support your fullbacks. So double up. So bring him back, bring him goal side, and double up against their wingers. This is really important. Do not pull your fullbacks forward or do a secondary press or pull them out or attack the player with the ball, make sure you just bring players back. That's just going to make it really difficult. And you're going to see that this side. So he switches the play. I grab my central midfielder. I don't grab my right back. I don't grab Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, force him in field. He makes a mistake and I win the ball. So that's really important. Get your centre backs, pull them back to support your fullbacks. Don't try and take on their winger with your fullback, because if he gets past him or he's able to sort of switch the ball from side to side, you're going to be in trouble. So having that extra man is going to help you out. And here I believe is the... No, this should have been the third goal, but I just turned a little bit too sharp away from goal, so I had to try and readjust, and then the chance was lost. He was able to get back in. Now in this next segment, we're going to actually see just how well this formation and tactic deals with a quick counter when you've got a lot of players up, especially from somewhere like a corner like you're seeing here. So there's a lot of players in advanced positions. I intercept the ball, but then I give it away too cheaply here, and that's really dangerous, especially against a 4-2-4. This is where they're most threatening. Now, what he's looking to do here, he's looking to switch the ball from side to side. So he's going to go from right to left. Watch this. And this is what they try to do. And that's where he's got the man over. You can see I select the guy at the far side to try and cut that out. But one of my players intercepts that ball anyway. And again, he's going to try to do the same. How he gets through that, I don't know. It gets really lucky. But luckily, with this formation and tactic, you're going to have enough people back there to prevent this from happening. Even if he gets a little bit lucky, which, you know, can happen. It can play through. The ball can go through your legs. The game can do some weird stuff at times. So, like I said, with this formation and tactic, I feel very comfortable, even with the sort of mishaps that can go on in the game. So, yeah, you know, he's really trying to push here, trying to thread that ball through. But again, it's so compact in that midfield. And that's why you've got these players. And I'm unfortunate there not to. I mean, this game just doesn't let you bend through balls like it used to in the past. So, far too straight, in my opinion. But, yeah, it would be nice if they added some extra animations and features like they used to have in past PESs, but it's not to be. But here comes a long-range shot. And a comfortable save for the goalkeeper, really. They very rarely go in. But hopefully you guys can sort of see that from a defensive point of view and an attacking point of view, it's very, very effective. It's not the type of play or way I like to play the game, because I like to play a more open and sort of possession-based style. This is more sort of, it's sort of meta in itself, because it's very narrow, very compact, hard to beat, hard to break down, and you know, you're just sort of metaing the meta style. Or anti-meta in the meta style. It's just one of those. But like you can see here, it's very, very comfortable for me. 39 minutes in. I don't think I've faced a shot on target just yet. Well, not to my knowledge. And there's just no way through. If he goes wide, I double up in the wide areas. Unless I give the ball away like that. But quickly move in with my fullback to win the ball back. But yeah, it's just very, very solid defensively. I don't feel like I'm under threat like I normally am against this formation with other formations. And I don't feel like I'm getting overwhelmed. And for him, he's clearly finding it very difficult to sort of penetrate. He's sort of hopeful long balls over the top. He's tried pretty much everything. He's tried switching it from side to side, which is where the key lies for the 4-2-4 formation. And I think we're going to see here with the stats that he doesn't have a single shot on target. There we go. 42% possession. I've had 7 shots, 7 on target. Complete domination in every single area of the pitch. Surprisingly, he made 0 changes to his formation. He didn't adjust his attack-defense strategy. And that is kind of surprising, but he's probably blinded by the fact that this formation has probably been quite successful for him. You know, it is a formation that does work very, very frequently online. But I think I've found the actual code to crack it. And as you can see, pretty simple for me to just sweep him aside. Barely felt any sort of threat. I think he was a Division 3 player. Or there was a Division 3 player that faced exactly the same formation and exactly the same result. So, and then he just backs out and quits out, you know, just shortly into the second half. So there we are, ladies and gents. Hopefully you guys want to you know, take a note of this formation, give it a try. I'm going to be trying this on Wednesday and Friday. Just going to run with it, play against every single formation that we come up against, and see if there's a formation that we really struggle against when we use this. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.